Yes, guys, what's going on? Welcome back to another stream. I'm here, not with JP, but my good friend Move. Move, can you hear me? All good?
Yeah, loud and clear, Bray.
How you doing, man? Thank you for coming on the channel, mate. I don't know, have you ever been on the YouTube channel before? On our YouTube channel?
No, you've been on ours, but I don't think I've been on yours.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so either, man. But yeah, guys, Jordan is out tonight. So instead of doing a solo stream, I thought you guys enjoyed the stream last night with Hugh. So I thought I'd ask my good friend Move on from. Of course, if you don't know, the Noisy Neighbours podcast, you guys are slamming it there. Some of the funniest podcasts, mate, I've listened to. They're absolutely incredible, guys. So if you guys are wanting any podcast, definitely check them out. You're on YouTube as well, isn't it?
Yeah, thank you, bro. Yeah, the podcast is our main driller. But yeah, we do have a YouTube as well where we do like call-ins, and now we're based out of the States in Texas. So I'm originally from there, but live in Texas now, and me and my mate Joey do some city content.
Exactly, guys. Honestly, if you guys want in a podcast, go check it out. It's absolutely incredible. I want to say a massive shout out to the guys at OneFootball as well for sponsoring today's stream. If you guys have not got the OneFootball app, go check it out. Link is in the description. Pin comment there as well. Goated app that you can get, and yeah, you help support the channel if you do download it. So appreciate everyone that does that. Obey going mental already. He's stayed up late and he's dropped a 10 in here. It says yes, Noisy Neighbours, but that's not the only 10 he's dropped in the chat, guys, because he's dropped in a 10 gifted membership. So yes, Obey, appreciate that, man. And good luck to everyone in the chat who's not a member. Remember, get active in the chat. More active you are, more chance you have of receiving one of those memberships. Before we get into it, then, Move, I mean, give me your take, because this channel, obviously, City Extra, it's me and Jordan. People know what me and Jordan think of the season so far. Give me your take on how you think the season's going for City right now.
Yeah, not bad, LB. I don't think we're actually playing to our potential at the moment, which is frustrating. But considering the place that we're in all the competitions, I don't think we can really complain. And I think that just means that there's more to look forward to the rest of the season. If we could, my beef, if you listen to any of our content, my big beef is that we're not getting anything out of the wingers at the moment, and I think that will only improve. So once we figure that out, I think we'll be sailing.
Do you think there's a reason that we're not getting anyone like anything out the wingers? Because in pre-season, I know you watched the channel. I did warn that this might be a thing. I was worried about Mahrez, the lack of pace. I thought we would play a little bit more direct, and we might need someone a little bit quicker. Hence why I was a little bit disappointed that Sterling went in the end. Not going anymore, but I did think that we needed someone on there. Do you think that's it, or is there something else that maybe is going on?
I have some theories, and that's one of them. The lack of sort of a different profile on the right wing right now. Everybody or anybody that we could put on the right wing all has the same sort of profile. They're all sort of left-footed, likely to come inside, and sort of one-paced outside of Foden, who's probably the quickest. But you're looking at Mahrez, Palmer, Bernardo, could play out there in a pinch. They're all sort of the same-ish on the right wing. I would have loved Sterling to stay, like you suggested. Even Jesus on the right wing was a different option. I think in future transfer windows, that is something we ought to look at. Is it just a different option? I'm not saying the guys we have now aren't, can't play out there or shouldn't be out there, but I think there are times when a change of profile on the right wing could be really helpful. My other theory is, somebody mentioned it in your stream earlier today, is that what Pep's doing with the fullbacks, and the fact that the fullbacks haven't really been that consistent throughout the season, I think might be having a bad impact on both the wingers, particularly on the right, in that if you remember the beginning of the year, Walker was there, but he was tucking him in quite a bit. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And not really offering the right winger an option to his outside. So obviously, if you don't have pace and you don't have a fullback bombing by you, you're absolutely going to cut back in every time, and it gets very predictable. So while I think that that does help our control side of the game, like Mahrez is really good at just keeping the ball. When we get into that, when we get stuck in the other team's half, and we just need to control it and keep it and move them from side to side, he's great at that. But getting behind somebody is, unless he's really linking up and there's good syncing with like KDB on that side, there's not much going on.
Yeah. No, that is true. I did worry about Mahrez in the preseason, the way that we play, but yeah, you're right. And I'd not really thought about that in terms of Kyle Walker when he was playing at the beginning part of the season. He was playing in that inverted role, not very well, to be honest with you. And then obviously he's took the injury, so he's not been playing for a long time. Cancelo's been left back, right back. He played everywhere across that front, that back line almost, it feels. So yeah, that's fair. I mean, we're obviously still in a very, very healthy spot. But we'll have to wait and see how this develops. I do think you're right. I think that once Kyle Walker comes back into the fold, hopefully, as long as he stays fit, that should be decent. Let's turn our attention then to tomorrow. City can go top temporarily, unless Nottingham Forest do another madness and beat Arsenal. It's an interesting this one, isn't it? Because me and Jordan spoke about it today on the press conference reaction, and people will just look at Leicester and maybe go, oh, they've had a shocking start to the season. They're sitting there in 17th. However, 3 wins in the last 5, only one loss in that 5 as well. Do you think this could actually be like a banana skin potentially? Because it looks like they potentially have turned a corner.
Yeah. I wish we were playing these weeks ago, mate. Because they're always tough for us in that they do that thing very well that we struggle with. It's just counter-attacking with pace. Sort of been our Achilles heel throughout Pep's tenure here. So them coming into form with us again, going back to the thing we were just talking about with the fullbacks. I think when maybe later on we'll talk about who we think might start. I think it's problematic for City in the back going against Harvey Barnes, Maddison, Vardy. So we're going to have to be very, very tidy on the ball and not give away cheap counterattacks if we're going to turn these over. So I'm not particularly well, I'm not as confident as I would have been a few weeks ago. And I'm not as confident in this one going into this one as I have been about some of our, I was maybe more confident going into Liverpool.
I was confident going into that one as well, but
Yeah.
I think I predicted. I think I think I predicted a 5-0 or something like that. Look how that one turned out. Oh my
Classic.
days. Yeah, no, it's I think tomorrow has the potential to be a really, really good football match. But
Yes.
I'm thinking to myself, do I want it to be a really good football match? Because if it's a really good football match, that's probably not going to be too good for us. Because that's probably going to mean that Leicester are playing quite well. I think for me, I want to see City take control of the game and go out there. I want to say take control of the game. I mean more than just have possession. City can go out and have 60% possession against most teams. I want to see them playing in a way that they're almost like looking for the kill. You know what I mean? If that's the right way. I want them to when they're on the ball, rather than just passing it around for passing sake, I want to feel like the team is going out there to really, get the goals and put that game to bed early. Because the longer that game goes on, Wolf, in my opinion, especially at 0-0, that's the worst it's going to get, because there's very little pressure on Leicester in this game. I mean, they've had some good form. No one's expecting them to beat City, and
True.
we're away from home. It's early kickoff. That's always a bad sign. And the longer that game goes on, their fans will get up for it. So for me, I want us to put our imprint on that game early on and see what we can do.
Yeah. Are you talking about tempo? Is that something that you're looking for?
Tempo is probably part of it, but again, you can have tempo and not really have the end product, or not really look for the goal. I kind of want everything. I'm looking for the perfect performance, bro. You know what I mean? I want possession. I want tempo. I want shots on goal. I just want my team to go and destroy Leicester in the in the first 10 minutes, because the longer it goes on, the worse it's going to be. It's going to be a painful day, because we have the chance of going top tomorrow. I asked the chat before. Apparently, we've not been top all season. This is a great opportunity to go top. Arsenal have dropped. Haven't won a game in the last 2 matches. Has the crumble started there? We have the brilliant opportunity of putting this pressure on Arsenal. I just don't want us to let it slip.
Yeah, I'm not sure I'm quite as I don't know, demanding in terms of this result, mate. It's still early on for me. We're what, 2 points off the top. If we were to drop points this weekend, which I think is very possible, I'd be disappointed, but I wouldn't be calling for the season to be finished. You know what I mean? Like, we'd still be very much in this thing. I do fully expect Arsenal to beat Forest, but yeah, I'm not. I don't think I'm demanding a perfect performance at this point. But
I'm on it. I'm on that demand. I'm heavy demands. I want a 5-0 win. I want a perfect performance, 100% pass accuracy. Otherwise, I'll never support this club again.
Wow. In terms of 100% pass accuracy, I do think that of late we have been a little bit sloppy in that regard. I don't know what you think, but the passing's not been quite up to it. Although I do think Leicester could be the perfect team to play if you're looking to find your passing accuracy again. In that, I don't think they're going to offer that sort of mid block that we've seen in recent games. I think it's going to be pretty open. So yeah,
and they've had a poor defense. They've had a poor defense all season.
It could very well be a great day for us. We could all be on it. The passes could be flying around. The tempo could be great. We take our chances, and it's a great day for us. But yeah, I agree with you. I think it's going to be it could be a very, very good match, a very entertaining match.
Yeah, no, for sure. We've got some comments coming in, and guys, keep your comments coming in the chat, and I'll put some of them on screen. Social Experiment member for 2 months says, "Good job, guys. Happy to be part of this City family. City side die. P.S. Haaland should take all the pens." I completely agree with that. Chadley Links, member for 2, says, "Big game tomorrow. Hope Haaland is fit. If not, shouldn't start him. His injury might get worse. Players will always say it's not that bad." Yeah, of course. We did mention this morning in the press conference that it's a bit of a doubt, Haaland. We don't really know what the situation is, and I guess Pep will now. Pep Guardiola will now, and Haaland will know right now whether or not he's going to play tomorrow. But as fans, obviously, we're kind of out the loop right now, so we don't really know. If he doesn't play, it's going to be a massive opportunity for Julian Alvarez. Pep Guardiola already confirmed that he's going to start Alvarez if Haaland's not there. And that'll be a huge opportunity for him. Give me your opinion on both Haaland and, in fact, let's start with Alvarez first, because I suspect Haaland might take a little bit longer. Thoughts on Alvarez, and do you think that if he does start tomorrow, if Haaland isn't available, do you have confidence in him? Where do you see his development needs to be? What's your opinion on Alvarez, bro?
Yeah. So one of the things I really enjoyed about preseason was all the chatter amongst City fans about Haaland, and then right behind him Alvarez. Yeah, we were so hyped on this on that combination, and the fact that we could rotate these guys in and out almost seamlessly because they're both clinical finishers. What I don't want to do is all of a sudden, as soon as there's a bit of a hint that Haaland might be injured, they start doubting Julian Alvarez, right?
Yeah,
I mean, why would we do that? I mean, this is the perfect opportunity. If Haaland is not 100%, bang Alvarez in there and get him a bit closer to the goal. He's been playing sort of withdrawn, I think, just to get him minutes. But when he's been playing a bit deeper. Play him off the shoulder of that last defender and watch him finish. So I'm very, very confident, should Alvarez come in tomorrow, that he will bag, because I think I envision him as a Gabby Jesus, but a better finisher. So he's got all the pressing, he's got all that, he's got all the tricks, but will finish at a higher percentage. So if it's Alvarez tomorrow, I'll be really excited.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I feel kind of sorry for Alvarez because I don't think the plan was that Haaland would play as many games as he has done already this season. I genuinely don't. I mean, I think Haaland was always going to come in and start the majority of the games, but because of the way that he's come in and absolutely hit the ground running, you can't take him out the side. And I'm looking at the games he's played for us: 20 minutes against Seville, 30 minutes against Dortmund. He played the 90 minutes against Copenhagen, but one of the games was completely ruined because it was, Gomez got sent off after 30 minutes and he scored in the other one. So that start he scored in. He then played against Borussia Dortmund the other day, but that game was just a dead rubber because neither team really wanted it. And then if you look at the Premier League, 12 minutes against West Ham, 16 Bournemouth, 30 Crystal Palace. Played 90 minutes against Nottingham Forest and scored 2. 18 minutes Wolves, 15 minutes Man United, 20 minutes Southampton, 1 minute Liverpool, and 10 minutes Brighton. So if you actually look, the only 2 games that he started this season in competitive football matches, which actually had something riding on them and the games weren't ruined, were Nottingham Forest and Copenhagen at home, and he scored in both of them. I just feel that I feel like he's Obeyed. His name is Spider-Man LB. I apologize. His name is Spider-Man. I just feel like he's been hard done by because the minutes that he's had on the pitch have not been quality minutes. And I always say this about players. I say it's not about the minutes on the pitch necessarily, depending on what you're looking to achieve. Obviously, if you're coming back from injury, then minutes are minutes. When you play like him, you need quality minutes. Coming on the pitch for 10 minutes when City are 3 or 4-0 up when nothing's happening because City are just looking to close the game out. He's not going to impress you because he's going to be running around and no one else is going to be running around. And
how often has Kevin De Bruyne been on the pitch when he's been on it? You know what I mean? You're going to play this guy without the guy that's going to feed him. You know what I mean? So no, I totally agree with you. There've got to be minutes when he's around the full squad. Then we can judge, So again, I'm still confidence really high in the lad. And if he ends up starting the match tomorrow, great. I love it.
No, for sure. Let's move on to Erling Haaland then, bro. Everyone's favorite topic, mine included.
The cheat code.
The cheat code, yes, I love that. Where to even start with him? He's going to break all the records. He's going to win a lot of City fans' money who have got bets on him, scoring many, many goals, myself included. He's going to win us the Champions League, mate, isn't he? Let's be honest.
Yeah, he's an absolute phenomenon, and let me tell you how I know that. So I've got a lad who's 17 years old, and massive City fan, and he plays football, so he's always around other mates that love talking about football. And you know how kids that age are; they're just constantly at it, player comparisons, or, everything. And whenever I meet some of his friends, you know, I ask, hey, who do you support? And they tell me United or Liverpool, whatever. And I've usually got some sort of City thing on or something, so they know I'm a City fan. And they'll say, but I love Erling Haaland. So imagine these American kids here in Texas. They're mad for it. They're mad for Spurs, Liverpool, whatever. But they always make a point to tell me that they love Erling Haaland. So he's captured the hearts and the imaginations of football fans worldwide already. And for him to be a City player is really makes my heart smile. So yeah,
he's a true Galactico, isn't he? He's the first Galactico we've had at this football club. I thoroughly believe that. I don't think Aguero was a Galactico when we signed him. I don't think Kevin De Bruyne was. I don't think Tevez was, and I don't think Robinho was. But to be honest, he was probably the closest to Haaland in terms of a Galactico signing that everyone knew. And Erling Haaland right now, I mean, you see the stats, don't you? And the news reports about all the shirts being sold out. You can't get a shirt for love nor money anywhere across the world, because every single City shirt with Haaland on the back, he's gone. Because like you say, people who are not even City fans are loving this guy.
Yeah. It's amazing. He transcends the game. I mean, you hear about him from people that people that don't follow football. He's that transcendent. An absolute phenomenon, mate. And I'm part of the supporters club here in Dallas, and we might get shit for this, but the amount of people that now come and watch the games with us just because he's there, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like if we signed Messi or somebody like that, they just start turning up because he's such a freak, such a phenomenon. So
that's
it's
the pull
great.
These players have. They have their own fans. You see, certain players around the world, they have their own fans. So they support a football club and then they support a player as well. And especially you get this a lot with maybe countries who national team aren't that successful. So it's no surprise to me that sales of Haaland's shirt in Scandinavia, I mean, I've gone through the roof. I mean, Norway are never going to win anything. I mean, that's no disrespect to them. They're just not. They're not in the World Cup either. And apparently the sales there, I mean, everything's just gone. He's a true Galactical signing and possibly one of the first that the Premier League's ever had at the peak. Usually we have the players and then we sell them on to Real Madrid or someone like that. And then obviously we don't see the peak. I'm not saying we're going to see Haaland's peak, but Jesus, I mean, this is probably good enough, to be his peak, the amount of goals he's getting. So it's just brilliant, isn't it, man?
It's an interesting dynamic now, LB, in that desire that players, Galacticos, that were created in the Premier League used to have to go and play for Barca and Madrid is almost gone. You know what I mean? The Premier League is so strong these days. We've got all the best players, all the best managers are coming here. The viewership worldwide, it's like this is the place to be. So long may it continue. It's great.
You know what, as well, so on that point, is that I think that the way that the Premier League's gone in terms of the style of play has probably helped that as well, because back in the day, it was a more physical league. I mean, it is still physical, but it's nowhere near as what it used to be like when you had the Roy Keanes snapping everyone in the middle of the park, you know what I mean, and the Vieiras and that lot. So you don't really have that anymore. The game in this country has changed to a more sort of passing base, nicer football, if you want to use that description, and that's probably helped us get him as well. So look, he's a brilliant player, and we just need to treasure him and enjoy his football, because you don't know how long it's going to last. And I'm not saying that in a sort of negative way. I'm just saying, sometimes shit goes, and you'll be looking back thinking I should have enjoyed that a little bit more.
We have to cherish this whole thing, LB. This whole period that we're going through is absolutely amazing. A lot of people out there, a lot of fans, a lot of media trying to diminish it for us, and we can't let them do that, man. This is just you've done this long enough. You've been a fan supporting this club long enough to know
that's why I don't really take much notice in it. And sometimes you might have a pop back at them all, but sometimes people come in a chat or send me DMs and say, LB, how do I deal with this person saying this about City? So what? Who cares, mate? You know what I mean?
One of the things I love about you and Jordan's channel is you don't do it back. You don't try to diminish anybody else's achievements. You credit where credit's due, just for 1 minute, Liverpool, for example, they've won everything with Klopp. They've won everything. It's it's not hard to say that. That's great. What I hate to see is other City fans trying to diminish what other clubs have achieved just because they're doing it to us. Don't engage in that. For me, it's a waste of time, and just enjoy what we're doing.
Yeah, no, for sure. Right, I want to go through a predicted 11. Before we do, massive shout out again to the guys at One Football who sponsored today's stream. Guys, if you've not got One Football, basically you can download their app on your phone, or your iPad and stuff like that. Completely free. The link's in the description and pinned comment. Once you download it, select City as your favourite team or whoever you support, and you get all the in-game stats, in-game commentary, previews, match reviews, interactive voting, transfer news, transfer rumours, and so much more. It's completely free, and you help support the channel if you do download it. So guys, do us a favour, go check it out. And I want to say a massive shout out again to Obeid for gifting 5 memberships to the chat. Good luck to everyone in the chat for getting one. Make sure you get active. More active you are, more chance you have of getting one of them. And again, cheers for that, Obeid, man. I appreciate you very much. Right, let's go through the starting 11. Ederson starting. Pep's already confirmed that.
Yep,
but
saw that.
Just a quick word on Ortega. I thought it was really good in midweek. I'm not saying he had a lot to do, and that we have to keep saying that because sometimes, Wolf, you know what it's like. You say like, "Oh, he had a good game. Oh, he didn't have to do anything." No, I mean, I'm not saying he made the best, save of the season. I'm just saying he had a decent game. I thought Ortega was good, and obviously American Zach Steffen didn't have a good time last season in the cup final, and I just feel that we've. What I like about this is, one, we've been ruthless on Zach Steffen, which is harsh for him, but it had to be done. But we've identified what the issue was with Zach Steffen in terms of he just wasn't good enough on the ball, and we've gone, right, that's what we need to do. Let's go and get it, and we've done it with Ortega. Just a quick one on Ortega, bro. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know yet because he hasn't been put in a high pressure situation, and it was those high pressure situations that got Zach Steffen in trouble. Yeah,
that's fair. Yeah.
While I like what I see, he on the surface looks like an upgrade over Steffen, particularly in terms of his feet. I think it will be the later stages of the cup, the domestic cups, when we come up against another big team. Can he handle himself in those matches? So far, so good, but is he really an upgrade on Steffen until he's been in those situations? We'll see.
Yeah, I think he'll probably play the Chelsea game in the cup.
Yeah.
I think that's the one for me that I think we'll see. Obeid says, "Can we get Aguero back for fun, mate?" No, he's too busy playing FIFA and doing Twitch streaming, so I don't think we could, mate. Let's go into the defense then. I've got to say, mate, I've been a bit frustrated over the last sort of 2 weeks because, and I'll tell you why. When City signed Akanji, didn't really know much about him. People come in our streams and was like, he ain't great LB, you know what I mean? That's why he's cost 50 million. He played 2 games at centre-back, and I thought, Jesus, this guy's the real deal. Do you know what I mean? And he was absolutely brilliant. And then what did Pep go and do? He went and stuck him out at right-back or right side of a free. And I'd say, honestly, I think he's been average at best. I really don't like him in that right-back position or the right side of a 3. So do I want to see him back in the centre? I think for me, yes, I do. I'd want to see Akanji back in the centre. What are you saying?
Yeah, that's fine. I've heard you making that case that you don't like him too much on the right end after his performance against Brighton. Can totally see it, mate. He does seem like a very intelligent player though, and somebody who could maybe learn from his mistakes against Brighton and improve. So I'm not going to totally rule out him playing that right back role while Walker's out. I think he shares a lot of the same attributes as Walker, to be fair. Obviously not quite as fast, but he's similar to Walker in some regards, I think. The question though is, and I think this is where we're headed, is if Akanji's in the center, like, who are the fullbacks? You know what I mean? So talk me through that.
Okay, so I go Cancelo in this game. I play Cancelo at right back.
Okay.
And people will say, what about John Stones? John Stones has only just come back recently from an injury. This is a huge game. And I know John Stones plays decent when he plays in that right back position. I'm not saying he doesn't. I'm saying if you look at John Stones' injuries over the last years, it's all been muscle injuries. Now, when he plays right back, he sprints forward. Now, I'm not saying he can't sprint ever, but I'm just saying, do you want to be putting him in a position which requires him to sprint more than when he's at centre back? Me personally, I don't. He does play good at that right back position. I like him there. I think the way he does drive forward is really, really good. But that's how he got injured last time, and that's usually how he gets injured with his injury. So I would, unfortunately, whilst I do appreciate him playing on that right back position, play well, I would swerve him for this one. I would go on this one, mate. I'd go Cancelo right back.
Okay. Yeah, I totally agree with your assessment of Stones there. And it's for those very reasons you mentioned that I didn't have him in my starting 11 for tomorrow's game. In that, on that left side, you're going to have Harvey Barnes, and he's rapid. And I can just see Stones pulling up with a hammy. You know what I mean? Trying to chase him back towards his goal. So
the thing is, it's kind of stupid in one sense, more because you shouldn't have to think like that. But unfortunately, because of his injury record, John Stones, you do, and what you have to do is you either have to deal with it and try and fix it and prevent that from happening, or you just go, I don't care, and just play him right back. But then he could get injured again. I think that's a stupid way of thinking. So
if Stones had a full week off, mate, and not played like an absolute animal in Dortmund, did you see him in Dortmund? He was a
brilliant.
menace. He was brilliant,
Yeah.
mate. If he hadn't played the full 90 minutes where he played, he was getting up and back constantly in that match. Then I might have considered him for tomorrow, but I think he needs a rest. And I would hate to see him up against Harvey Barnes, to be fair. So. Yeah, I actually went with a Kanji at right back, but
bro, it can't be done, man. It can't.
No, it's cool. It's cool because okay. So tell me who you're going to put on the left then.
So they play, according to Google, they played James Maddison on the right hand side against Wolves in a 4-0 win. I'd go Ake.
Ake is the left back.
Yeah, and what I'd be asking from Ake in this game is to just be completely solid. I wouldn't be asking him to bomb forward. I wouldn't be asking him to get involved in too many attacks. I'd just be saying, your only job here is to not get roasted off Maddison and try and keep him fairly quiet. Because I don't want to say you stop Maddison, you stop Leicester, because I don't think that's completely true. But it is to a certain degree. And I think if we can do that and let our attacking players flow, then we should be fine. And I think if you tell Ake to sit a little bit more and just be a bit more solid, gives a little bit more freedom for Cancelo on that right hand side. Now I know there's a lot of people that sometimes that don't like Ake at left back, and I really struggle to understand why. Because every time I've seen him play left back for City, he's been fine. He did a great job against Atletico Madrid last season in the Champions League. Didn't get smoked once. I think he played against Liverpool there one time as well and did a good job. So I don't really get the hate against him, and I certainly would not be playing Sergio Gomez in this game.
Interesting. That's what I was going to ask you. I think maybe the concern about Ake at left back is you watch other teams when he's at left back, they just let him have the ball because they know he's not going to hurt them whatsoever when he's got the ball. He's not going to play any penetrative passes, anything diagonal to the right wing. He's just going to possess, and they just let him they just stand off him because he's not going to hurt them. And I think that might be where the frustration comes from. Whereas if you've got, in former seasons, Zinchenko, who can play a penetrative pass, or now maybe Gomez can do something like that. Even Laporte at left back is a better build-up option than Ake. I just think that people who are frustrated with Ake at left back might be coming from a build-up perspective. Defensively, I agree with you. I think you can put him out there in certain situations and basically lock up the whoever the right winger is. The thing with this one is Maddison's not that quick, and if he is on the right wing, I wonder if the gamble of Sergio Gomez, you would gamble that he would help your attack, he would help you build up more than he would cost you at the back, because he wouldn't necessarily have to be chasing Maddison because Maddison's not that quick. So it would definitely be a gamble. Ake would be the safe option for me. If you're going to have Cancelo at right back, Ake's the safe option at left back. Sergi Gomez is probably a gamble.
Yeah, I agree, and I think that I personally wouldn't be willing to take that gamble in this game because of how big it is. So let me give you my back four then. So I got Ake left back. I'd said Akanji, but Laporte's come in and he's been brilliant. I think Diaz has been playing well, at the same time, and I'm now in two minds as to whether do I play Akanji, because then it makes it difficult as to who I pick next to him, or do I play Diaz on Laporte? Oh, this is a tricky one, man. This is a tricky one.
This is the only tricky part of the lineup, mate. The rest of it picks itself.
What's your back four then?
The back four, the one I have written down is Cancelo left back, Laporte and Diaz in the middle, and Akanji right back. But I almost talked myself into, if I wanted to gamble, Cancelo right back, Sergi Gomez left back.
I don't know whether I want to play Akanji or not. I really want to play Akanji, but Laporte deserves to play because he was excellent at the end of the season. And since he's come back, he's not put a foot wrong. So you know what? No, I'm going to put Laporte in. And then it's a case of do I play Diaz or Akanji? I think Leicester, they've got Patson Daka. He started the last game. Jamie Vardy came on and Inacho didn't come on, but he was on the bench. I think if Patson Daka comes on, just because of his strength, I think I'd prefer Ruben a little bit. I'm not saying Akanji's soft, by the way. I'm just saying I think Diaz might be. So I've talked myself out of Akanji, which is kind of weird because I didn't think I was ever going to do that. So I'm going to go Ederson, Cancelo right back, Diaz, Laporte, and Ake, and I just think that is quite solid. My concern about that now, because this is obviously what happens when you write this shit down, is if Cancelo pushes on, Diaz might get dragged out over to the right-hand side. Do you want Ruben Diaz exposed in that right-hand side with his lack of pace? Probably not. So
you know
what I'm going to do? I'm going to put Akanji back in. I'm sorry. This is supposed to be proper annoying, and this is why being a manager must be so difficult, mate. Because I've changed my mind then about 5 times.
Yeah.
So you've got Akanji right back, Diaz, Laporte, Cancelo.
Yeah.
I've gone Cancelo, Akanji, Laporte, Ake. Wow.
Part of the reason I've got Cancelo on the left is because going forward, he's likely to have Bernardo as the left number 8 and Grealish. And I think that 3 can really cause problems for Leicester at the back. And because Maddison isn't that quick, for the same reason I thought you could get away with Gomez there, Cancelo is probably going to be able to get back and mark Maddison if necessary. So I would think that combination on the left side of Cancelo, Bernardo, and Grealish linking up. I don't know if you have the same forward line as I do, but I think that is that's how we'll beat these.
I mean, it sounds perfect. So what we were saying, obviously, Kev. I mean, the rest of the team is easy, isn't it? It's Kev, Bernardo, Foden on the right, Haaland or Alvarez up top. Whoever's, obviously, we don't know who's fit, and then Jack Grealish on the left. So, I guess, yeah. I mean, we say that is the front 3. It is Pep Guardiola, so he's probably not going to do that. But the midfield and the front 3, I think everyone would agree in the chat that Rodri, Bernardo on the left, Kevin on the right, Foden, Haaland / Alvarez, whoever's playing, and Jack Grealish on the left is how we go in this one. I guess it's just a case then of the back 4. But at the same time, I could easily throw back at you Cancelo, Kevin, and Foden. And who's there? Against Harvey Barnes? If he's attacking, he's gonna have to track back a lot because that's the right side. That's their left side, so that'll be on the. That's right, isn't it? Is that right? Yeah, that's right. Will he track back? That could give him a bit of space. So I could flip it back on the other side there and say, I think, funny enough, I think what we're both trying to say is Cancelo could have a big role to play in this.
Yeah, absolutely. Whatever side he's on now, I find him more impactful on the left. Don't know why that is because he's right-footed, but just that's the way it's gone so far. He's been had much more impact. Needs to get that Trivella out, get that get that ball across
Mm.
from the left side. Yeah, just there's better chemistry over there.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I think Cancelo is a better left back than he is a right back, and that's why I'm playing Cancelo right back because it makes no sense. I tell you what, mate, I don't think I could be a manager. I mean, FIFA's stressful enough for me because you look at all the decisions Pep's got to make, and there's no wonder he does some dodgy decisions. Probably gone do Lally Tap at some point. He's sat there. He's sat there for hours on end trying to work out the best tactics, and he comes up with some mad ones. Yeah, guys, it's a pretty interesting one. Let us know in the chat what you think. Obeyed gifted 5 memberships again to the stream. GG's Obeyed. Appreciate the support to the channel. Remember, guys, if you want to have a chance of receiving one of them, you have to get active in the chat. So make sure you're giving us your comments there, and we can get some of them read out. What have we got coming in here? We did have Big Steve in here. Yes, Big Steve. How you doing, mate? Enjoy the game tomorrow. I assume you're going. Have a good one, mate. I guess you're setting off pretty early. Lengen Sweet, interesting comment. Cancelo was good at right back when Zinni was in the team. Yeah, interesting comment. What else we got? Let's have a look. Beyond Belief says Cancelo isn't even a fullback. He is he's an enigma. There we go. Hads Aslam says Stones right back. I don't know if you were just here a minute ago, Hads. I like John Stones right back. I do. I think he's really, really good, but he bombs forward a lot when he plays right back. That's how he got injured last time. He had the ball and he sprinted into the midfield with the ball. He doesn't really do that when he's centre back. He's more jogging because he's got to be slower and make sure he doesn't lose the ball. Look at John Stones' injury record. They're all muscle injuries. So for me, I agree with what you're saying. I think he's brilliant at right back, but I just can't risk him, mate. I can't risk him. What else we got? Shockoe. Good thing Pep's a genius and we can trust him almost every time. Yeah, exactly, mate. We sit here and chat shit. You know what I mean? Pep Guardiola knows what he's doing. See if there's any other comments coming in. I want to see Grealish, Haaland, and Foden up top, says the Mad Hatter. Pedder, yes, says lads, just not confident about the game tomorrow at all. I think it should, there's a number of. I think there's probably a number of reasons. We've not won an away game in the last 3. Haaland, we don't know if he's going to play. Leicester have just come into form. I mean, there is 2 more reasons because I give 5 reasons before on the stream, and I don't think you need the extra 2, to be honest. I'll just leave it there. But City have to find a way. City have to find a way to get these points. This is what we're in. We're in a title race, and we need to see what's going on. Obeyed here with a super chat says, me and Chris Paulson are suggesting a Villa Newcastle watch along. When is that? Is that tomorrow? You guys.
Yeah, tomorrow, 3
o'clock. Yeah, I'll see what's going on, bro. I'll see what's going on. And we've got a surprise in store for you guys next week, so we'll tell you about that probably tomorrow. Godly with the 5 says Sergio Gomez needs to play. We need to know if he's good enough for City. I'd go Gomez, left back, Cancelo right back. Well, this is kind of what you was just saying, Wolf. I mean, is this the time though? Is this the time? Like I said, we can go top of the league tomorrow. Is this the time to be trying him out?
Yeah. I think so. I think you could. Again, it's a gamble. Again, I know you want a perfect performance. You want these 3 points very badly. You want to go to the top of the table. I would suggest to you that it's a bit too early for that. And let's find out about Sergio Gomez. He might cost us 1, but he might gain us 2. You know what I mean?
I'll get sent off. I mean, you never know. The thing is with Sergio Gomez, from what I've seen so far, going forward, perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. You know what I mean? His ball's into the box. Brilliant. On the ball, he's up there. I think he's up there probably with Mahrez on the ball. Yeah, I mean, I think he's absolutely... he come through the Barcelona academy, so it's pretty much a given that you're good on the ball. I think his attacking brain is very, very good. Defensively, suspect in my opinion. Positional play.
Positionally,
yeah. Because when we signed him, I had absolutely no idea who this kid was. So on the stream when we announced that we'd signed him, we got up a what they call like scout report. These people who watch football matches and write reports on players and that. We got up a scout report and it basically said exactly what I've just said there. Very good going forward. Blah 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 blah. Defensively, gets caught out of position quite a lot. So I remember saying to the stream, I said, well, let's not judge him off an article. Let's see him for our own eyes. I've seen him with my own eyes, and I know it's early days, but I do see a little bit that in his game. Now, you can work on that. You can work on it, and he's still only young. But, that it could cost us. If you look at the Copenhagen game, if you don't get sent off there, we probably go on and win that match, to be honest with you. So, I don't know. I mean, on one hand, I feel like I'm going a bit soft nowadays, me more, because on one hand, I want to throw him in, sink or swim. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't care. About his future. Let's throw him in, sink or swim. Let's see what he can do. If he can do it, buzzing. If he can't, get rid in the summer. But I'm much more thinking about the team. I'm thinking about the results. I'm thinking about momentum that I want to take into the next football match. And I'm also thinking about, I don't want this kid, man. He's only young, innit? If he has a stinker again tomorrow, bro.
Have your expectations around this club changed since you started doing this channel?
I don't know, man. I feel like I want to win a lot more.
Yeah.
Because of Pep Guardiola, I want to win a lot more. I want to win trophies. I think that previously, because it wasn't a given that you'd win trophies, I'd sort of be thinking about other stuff like that. But now, because we got Pep Guardiola, I'm like, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity to have a period in football history that will never be forgotten. And deep that for a minute, move, because what I just said is completely true. People will be talking about this Manchester City side in 70 or 80 years if we're still on this planet. I promise you. And that's why I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed with winning. I'm obsessed with winning the Carabaos. And these players, I am a little bit sink or swim, but I'm sink or swim at the right time. Okay. In fact, I'm probably more sink or swim than I ever have been. But I ain't sink or swim on a 12:30 kickoff away at Leicester when they're on good form, and we've not won an away game in the last 3. And he got sent off. He got sent off in the last match.
Well, Nathan Ake it is then.
On a real, we do need to play Sergio Gomez, and there's only one way of finding out if this guy's good enough, and you do have to play him. Some will say, well, if you play him against Seville, Lewis, you're not going to find out his true colours because it's a dead game, and that's completely true. So on one hand, I do back the comment, but can we just wait until we're like at least 6 points clear of Arsenal? You know what I mean? Let's do that. Right, let's get some quick questions into the chat then, guys, and then we'll wrap up. I will let Move go. So if you've got any questions you want me or Move to answer about the season, about City, or about tomorrow's game, quickly fire them in, and then we'll wrap up. Obeyed with a 10 says swimming lessons needed. I think probably swimming lessons will be needed, bro. I think they probably will. But who knows? Maybe he's a proficient swimmer. I don't know. You need a good life jacket, LB. 7 to 8 years. I don't know, mate. Do you know what I mean? You don't know what's going to happen these days, bro. You know what I mean?
I mean, how long is that 100-point record going to stand? Could stand 70, 80 years, couldn't it?
That's true. Right, let's go. Chadley, who do you want in the Champions League round of 16? I'll let you take that one, Move.
I just want to avoid the biggest boys. Because that's going to be right after the World Cup, right? Or right after the New Year.
The draw's in a week on Monday, and then it's round of 16. Usually February, I think.
I just want us to be fit. You know what I mean? I just want a fit squad for that round of 16. So the likelihood is that we'll probably have some injury issues around that time. So give me the easiest draw possible, please.
Yeah. No, completely about that, mate. What do you think about Mahrez? I think I've had a lot of say about Mahrez, and I guess you have as well on the podcast. But for the people that haven't listened to your podcast, and again, guys, go check out Move's Noisy Neighbours podcast. Him and Joey, funny as fuck on the podcast. Quick thoughts on Riyad Mahrez this season, mate.
We have talked, especially in our last episode, about Riyad Mahrez, because it was obviously following the penalty miss. Cannot defend him on the penalties, by the way. But what I will say, he's got around the same penalty conversion rate as like a Sergio Aguero. Am I right? Somewhere around there. And
probably he missed a fair few,
yeah. So I wasn't always super confident when Aguero stepped up. and similarly with Mahrez. But the rest of his all-round play, you said something I really enjoyed the other day, Lewis, about how often somebody like Riyad has to play against these low blocks, and it's just ugly football. And you can't expect somebody with the razzle dazzle with the feet that Mahrez has got to always be able to have a great performance against those types of teams. He's having to beat 2-3 players on the wing. That's why he always cuts back. We mentioned earlier in the show that not having a right back all the time can hurt him. A lot of these talking points are the same talking points that we've used to defend Grealish. Do you know what I mean? Neither of the wingers, outside of a few really good performances from Phil Foden this season, our wingers have been not really impacting the games as much as they have in previous seasons. So hopefully Pep can figure that out, and the players in those positions can do that too. So in a nutshell, Riyad Mahrez, world-class talent, great player for us, having a bad patch at the moment. Probably needs help from his manager to and his teammates to help him out, but also needs to improve himself. So I think that I hope that he can improve this season. Otherwise, I think Cole Palmer's probably got a role to play.
Yeah, I agree with that completely, mate. I agree. Craig disagrees with you there, Mulf. He says, no, we don't need to avoid the big boys. We are City, we are no longer underdogs. Every game should be favourites. Craig wants to clash with PSG, mate.
Love it, Craig. Well done, man.
Thanks for your comment. Let's see if we've got any final questions here coming in. In fact, on that then, Carl says, when does Palmer get starts then? Do you see him starting any time this season, or do you think it's going to be next season?
I think he's going to have a standout performance in a cup match to earn himself a Premier League start, only because Pep goes for experience, and yeah, he does have that hierarchy of players, and somebody like Mahrez is probably always going to get the nod unless a player is undeniable. Do you know what I mean? Like we talked about Haaland and Alvarez. Why is Alvarez not getting as many? It's because Haaland's undeniable, right?
Yeah, I hear that.
Palmer's going to have an undeniable performance to get himself a start in the Premier League, I believe.
All right, cool. Final question then. In fact, let me just wipe this super chat up. Godly says, if we're being 100% honest, I don't think Haaland will play tomorrow. Pep knows his injury record and won't want to risk a more serious injury. I actually agree, Godly. If I had to put money on it, I think he doesn't start tomorrow, in my personal opinion. But we'll see. We'll see. Final question, away from City, but sticks with football. Gina, which team will win the World Cup this year? Who's your favourites? I've gone Argentina, man. I think it's their year, man. I think they're going to do it.
Argentina?
I think Argentina are going to do it this year, man. And Pep Guardiola said to the City players that he thinks Argentina are going to win it.
Yeah, I saw that. I think there's probably a handful of teams. I'd be looking at France. I'd be looking at Belgium. I'd be looking at the United States of America.
Sorry, guys. I've just had to mute. I've just had to mute Mulf for a second to apologise on behalf of City Xtra for the garbage that has just come out of his mouth. Let me just unmute Mulf there again. Hiya, Mulf. Sorry, mate. I just had to apologise to the street. We only do accurate facts on this channel.
No, so me and my co-host Joey, obviously I'm England, and he's American, so we've got a bit of a squabble going on in that where the two teams play each other. I think it's the day after Thanksgiving over here, so yeah, grudge match going on.
That's going to be cool.
Cannot wait.
Right, I think I'm going to go. I'm going to go Argentina. I think they're the ones.
Okay.
For me. Is there any other questions? Have you seen anything in the chat, Move, that you want to answer? Or
no, just big up the chat. They're all brilliant, aren't they? It's lovely.
Yeah,
lovely to see.
Chat's always moving mad. Nick Tall, appreciate the super chat, man, and obeyed again with the 5 gifted. Yes, bro. Thanks a lot, man. Staying up late as well. It's late where you are.
Where is Obeyed, by the way?
I think he's in the UAE.
Okay.
I'm sure he's in the UAE, man. So I'm pretty sure he's late.
His mum definitely doesn't check her credit card statements. I can tell you that.
I don't know, but please check with the bill payer. Ain't my responsibility. You know what I mean?
No, big up
Cool.
Obaid. Amazing stuff.
Yeah, no, definitely helps the channel grow, man. So I appreciate it. Right, okay, guys. I think we'll wrap it up there, man. I think we've covered everything else. If you didn't check, if you want more content on this game, go check out the press conference reaction me and Jordan did this morning. That was me and Jordan on that one. If you didn't see that, that was a pretty good stream as well. Speak a lot about Erling Haaland in that one and go through all the quotes. If you want anything else, obviously go check out Noisy Neighbours. Move does his Noisy Neighbours podcast. Why don't you tell the guys where you can find that?
Yeah, it's Noisy Neighbours podcast. There's no U in it because we're American based.
I did see that. I was putting it up on screen and I typed it in and I was like, I'm going to check this fucking guy, man, because he's going to spell it wrong.
Hey, at least I didn't put a Brighton crest on the preview graphic for this live stream. You got to get Jordan back on the graphics, man.
Mate, that was Jordan. That was Jordan. That was Jordan that you made. Sure. This guy. Sure. No, it was. I'm gonna have him tomorrow. I'm gonna have him, man.
On Twitter, we're at NoisyPod. Yeah, we've got a YouTube channel as well. Just type in NoisyPod, you find us there. Appreciate the comments on the podcast, mate. We'll have you on again soon, yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely. I enjoy your podcast. Obviously, I always say, man, I feel like you enjoy just older versions of me and Jordan, man. Yeah, I mean, if I'm allowed to say that, I'm allowed to say that. I don't know what I'm fucking allowed to say. I think I'm allowed to say that, but nah, you guys are funny. Go check him out, guys, if you want some more podcasts. One Football sponsored today's stream. Appreciate it if you could go download the app. It's Watch along City taking on Leicester at the King Power. See you in the next one. See you in a bit.